Roll call, please.
Mrs. Grice?
Here.
Mr. Seaver?
Here.
Mr. Hamlin?
Here.
Mr. Nemeth? Here. Ms. Horvath?
Here.
Thank you.
Can you all join us in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm sorry.
Always a little excited.
I'm sorry.
Why didn't you let them come up and?
Yeah, come on up.
Good job, guys.
I'm not used to this.
Color guard. Left. Ace.
Can we do it again? Sure. Let's do it again.
Absolutely.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Colors. Board. Arch. Color guard. Color guard. Fall out.
All right, I need a motion to accept the reading of the minutes of the January meeting. What? Oh. I need a motion to accept to adopt the agenda as listed. Terry? Martin? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Grice? Mr. Seaver?
Yes.
Mr. Hamlin?
Yes.
Mr. Nemeth? Yes. Ms. Horvath?
Yes. Now I need a motion to accept the meeting, the reading of the minutes for the January meeting.
So moved.
Wayne?
I'll second.
Tony? Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Seaver?
Yes.
Mr. Hamlin?
Yes.
Mr. Nemeth?
Yes.
Ms. Horvath?
Yes.
Ms. Grice?
Yes. Under informational presentations.
I just have one item of information to report. We're getting ready to begin construction on the high school, junior high additions. And at this point, we've scheduled a groundbreaking for March the 10th at 12:30. It'll be located on the bus drop-off side where the one big addition is going. We're going to do a combination groundbreaking for that location for both the junior high and high school addition. That's all I have.
Thank you. All right, treasurer's reports, financial reports. Well, any public comment on agenda items?
No one is on that.
Thank you. Now,
It's under item D, ask the board for the monthly approval of the January bank reconciliation, which also includes investments listed on there, the financial summary of each individual fund, two different budgetary reports, and also the revenue report for general fund.
So moved.
okay, Wayne. Need a second?
Second.
Diane? Any discussion? Roll call, please.
So, Mr. Hamlin?
Yes.
Mr. Nemeth?
Yes.
Ms. Horvath?
Yes.
Ms. Grice?
Yes.
Mr. Seaver?
Yes.
Thank you. Next, under item 2, ask for the board's approval of the contracts as listed.
Need a motion, please?
I'll move.
Tony?
I'll second.
Martin? Discussion?
Yes, we have 3 contracts listed under here. The first one is for the Hamilton County DD for developmental disability services for eligible students. 3 contracts. The second one is Mother and Sons Caregiving. It's for aid services for a student. And then we have Front Row Theatrical Rental. And that's for the stage rental for the play that is coming up.
Any
It's called
questions?
Music.
Any questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Nemeth?
Yes.
Ms. Horvath?
Yes.
Ms. Grice?
Yes.
Mr. Seaver?
Yes.
Mr. Hamlin?
Yes.
Thank you. That's all I have. Thank you.
All right, I think it's under personnel. I think that's Mr.
Thank you. I'd ask the board's approval for all personnel items listed under number 1.
Need a motion, please?
So moved.
Wayne?
I'll second.
Tony, discussion. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Horvath?
Yes.
Ms. Grice?
Yes.
Mr. Seaver?
Yes.
Mr. Hamlin?
Yes.
Mr. Nemish?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'd ask the board's approval for a retroactive pay increase for our junior Air Force Junior ROTC instructors. They are currently not a part of our teacher bargaining unit, but I feel like they should be gaining the percentage increase that our teachers gain each year according to their master contract. So I'd ask the board to approve that retroactive to the start of this year, and moving forward, that same base increase would be applied, whatever we negotiate with the teachers.
Greg, can you explain briefly how they are compensated? Doesn't the Air Force?
There's a minimum instructor pay that's framed off the federal system, so there's a calculation for their base pay. As Air Force ROTC instructors, we gain about 50% reimbursement from the federal government of that salary. So it's a good bargain for the district from the standpoint that we get a couple of really great instructors for our young folks, and so they get like the cost of living raises that the federal government grants, but they don't ever really get any steps or increases that way.
Any other comments? Roll call, please.
I need a motion.
Oh, I need a motion. Motion, please.
So moved.
Diane
I'll second.
and Mark. Roll call, please.
Ms. Grice?
Yes.
Mr. Seaver?
Yes.
Mr. Hamlin?
Yes.
Mr. Nemish?
Yes.
Ms. Horvath?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'd ask the board's approval for Resolution 20-002, a resolution acknowledging the Commission's design phase review comments on the Little Miami Intermediate School Edition.
Motion, please.
I'll move.
Tony,
Second.
Wayne, discussion. Roll call, please.
Mr. Seaver?
In the way, before that, just in the way, there's going to be two more resolutions, one for the junior high and one for the high school as well.
All right, let's
Basically, as part of their process in the design phase, they look at the square footage and they make comments. This basically sets kind of the baseline for our reimbursement for the instructional spaces and square footage that we're making.
So we'll put 3, 4, and 5 together with the same motion.
Typically, we would have seen these earlier before the intermediate was coming up out of the ground. However, the OFCC waited and packaged them all. Actually, I just got the last two resolutions on Friday afternoon, so but typically we would have seen this a lot earlier.
Now roll call, please.
Mr. Seaver?
Yes.
Mr. Hamlin?
Yes.
Mr. Nemish?
Yes.
Ms. Horvath?
Yes.
Ms. Grice? All right, that covers items 3, 4, and 5 in the resolution.
And lastly, I'd ask the board's approval for the updated academic calendar for the 2020-21 school year.
I need a motion, please.
I'll move.
Tony,
I'll second.
Diane, discussion.
We, in looking at our calendar, a couple of years ago, we started to do, beginning of the year, parent conferences. And our teachers have really been challenged at that K-4 level to be able to get some time with parents. So what we're proposing is that we delay the start of K-4 one day, and it said on the calendar they wouldn't start until Friday, August the 15th. That'll give the K-4 staff an extra day to be able to meet with parents and do their orientation with parents individually. And then we're also proposing to do away with the 90-minute delays. There's 4 90-minute delays that currently are in the calendar for next year for teacher PD, and we're proposing that we take those delays and make that just a one-day in-service for teachers, and that is on the calendar as Friday, September the 4th, which is immediately adjacent to Labor Day Monday.
Any comments?
So grades 5 through 12 will have a different start date than K through 4.
Correct. What we found when we had to delay the start of Salem was that that phased in, accidentally, we phased in, we found that transportation actually ran a lot more smoothly once we started with grades. We didn't start with grades K through 4, and we found that having that partial startup was beneficial to routing and getting our buses running on a more efficient time schedule more quickly.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Mr. Nemish?
Yes.
Ms. Horvath?
Yes.
Ms. Grice?
Yes.
Mr. Seaver?
Yes.
Mr. Hamlin?
Yes.
And then the last item I have, ask the board's approval for the updates, board policy updates listed.
A motion, please.
I'll move.
Tony? Martin? Any discussion? These are just updates. Roll call, please.
Ms. Horvath?
Yes.
Ms. Grice?
Yes.
Mr. Seaver?
Yes.
Mr. Hamlin? Mr. Nemish?
Yes.
Thank you, that's all I have.
All right, now we have the Warren County Career Center update. This month is Career and Technical Education Month, and so the board members met with and heard from students and their instructors on how CTE has impacted their lives. Each one of us represents a different school district, and so we had one person from each district get up and talk a little bit about how the Career Center has impacted their lives. We approved memorandums of understanding with the National Red Cross to use our facility there as a shelter and disaster relief. And we also did a Cincinnati State for College Credit Plus and a contract with CNN Contractors for construction on Green Tree Health Science Surgical Technical Lab. If you ever get a chance to go out by Atrium Medical Center, the hospital, we have Green Tree there, and it's all health related. So it's really, they'll take you through anytime you want to go through. It's really nice. Thank you there, Rusty.
Not of agreement.
I'm sorry?
I've been there. It's a nod of agreement.
Thank you. The board accepted donations for various fire equipment. Also, Charles Anderson reported on the proposed federal budget for 2021 and includes an increased funding for career and technical education. I also reported on some of the adult students who are getting their certifications. Superintendent Rick Smith reported that there were 60 seniors who were inducted to the National Technical Honor Society. We had people there, so it was really nice. We also put in what was called vape detectors in our restrooms now, so that's a plus. And board member comments included suggestions to visit associate school board meetings twice per year and hold a WCC board meeting at Green Tree soon. And that's all I have. Next board meeting is what?
March the 24th, I believe,
Yes.
March 24th,
at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. We do read your board reports. They're very interesting sometimes. And any public comment? No one signed it. Any board member comments? I need a motion to adjourn. Tony? Diane? All in favor?
Ayes. All way across. Yeas. Mr. Garris.
Yes.
Mr. Seaver.
Yes.
Mr. Hamlin. Mr. Nemish.